Go. What's up?
Hey,
Hey, we got Ele Ivory. What's going on?
what's up, Freeze? Happy to be here. This is super cool.
Yeah, good to see you. Where are you coming from today? Where
I'm
are you?
from my library. My library room.
Yo, no way.
Yes, this is my Zoom setup of 2020. Just show everyone my books and my I got this lamp strategically placed right here so it fits in the frame. It's dark, but it's pretty, so that's
That's
cool.
cool. I didn't realize you were so studious.
Yeah, I am. I've the appearance. The appearance is there, so that's
That's
important.
cool. Are you what part of town do you live in?
I live in like the Green Hills, Bellevue-ish area. It's kind of
Oh,
where,
fresh. That's awesome. So you're close to school.
yeah,
Are
very
you
close.
still in school?
I am. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ellie and I met at Lipscomb University. That's where I went. That's where you are, a senior. Wow, that's crazy. Congrats on making it that far. You made it farther than I have. So I guess you're gonna finish, huh?
I guess so. It's looking like that. Brown's really encouraging, so gotta make Papa Brown happy.
Oh, we love Brown Bannister. He's in charge of school music and also just one of the sweetest people. Right off the bat, before we talk too much about Brown and Debbie, because we could, uh,
Make
we
the whole
have,
show. Can we make the whole show about her? Actually,
yeah,
dedicated.
exactly. Yeah, I think we really could. We need to first talk about you are in the midst of a Kickstarter, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Anyone that's ever done one knows that means every single day you just wake up and until you go to bed are just like in it.
All I think about. Yep. It was like I was texting Jack, and because Jacqueline just had a crazy successful Kickstarter for
Oh
her
yeah,
album, which is gonna be amazing. And so I was like, Jacqueline, I just need some of your insight. And she was like, it's gonna be all you think about. And it's I'm like that little green button of like launch. I was like, I knew the second I hit it, I'm like, this is my life now. So yeah,
gosh.
it's happening. It's wild. We're on day six. Day
Yeah,
six.
I
So
think so, right? You have
yeah,
27 days to go. So you did
yes.
a whole month.
Woo. Yeah, I did until October 1st because I'm like, I am better when things are like, in, when it's like a, not just like September 26th or whatever. So
Yeah, right.
if I can think better that way, I feel like other people definitely can too. So you have until
Totally.
October 1st, and we're gonna make this project, and I'm really excited, and it's all I can think about, and yeah, it's all happening. So
Yeah, so it looks like right now you're just a little shy of a tenth of the way there, 10%. You're at $1,541 out of 16.5. It's how much you're trying to raise, $16,000 and 500. You're going to do it. It's going to be great. It's going to be a crazy month.
it'll be
Talk to us about what you're raising money for this like visual album you're working on.
yeah. Yeah, so this project really involves a lot and has like taken up just a whole lot of me this year, which has been really cool. Like I have always been a super visual person. Like I'm obsessed with music videos and just love like the different side of things that they can bring to music. And so I'm like, you know what? I really want to just go for it and do this. And when I first started telling people like I'm gonna make a visual album this year, I got a lot of like, oh, that's really ambitious. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fun. And I
right.
was like, yeah, I guess it is ambitious. So like that's cool. So that's kind of been Madeline Sprinkle has been helping me like organize and just been an amazing like confidant and friend and supporter through all of this. And so that's kind of been our
Cool.
word, like
She's
ambition
awesome.
2020. Come on, like let's do this.
Hmm.
Let's be ambitious. So yeah, I just started dreaming up kind of what this was gonna look like because obviously we live in a time where releasing singles is the way to go. But I was like, if I'm gonna put out an album, I really want it to be cohesive and have like an overarching theme and message and meaning. And so I started dreaming up like what that could be and what that could look like. And the more I kind of studied like the songs I was being drawn to for this project, I'm like, these really feel like characters that are kind of coexisting in this world in kind of this like melodramatic world that I've dreamed up. And so it's been really cool to like sit with each of them and be like, okay, what is the vibe? Like, what does she have to say? How can I like elevate her narrative and like let her flourish and like have her moment? And how is that going to like tie in and influence? And how does that, relate to the next character in the next song. So it's been really fun to kind of think of it in this like broader, broader picture than just like one song at a time, and bring more project meaning that way. So it's been cool.
Yeah, right. That is super cool. It is an ambitious project. That's funny that you say that off the bat, because I think in like in an artist community like Nashville, and when you're going to school to do music, you're constantly watching what everyone around you is doing, and taking a big step like that, like you're doing something that I don't know anyone else is doing. You know what I mean? So it is ambitious, but at the same time, it's fresh and it's exciting, and you know who shouldn't be ambitious? Like
Right. I was like,
it.
let's do it.
Yeah, right. I think that's so cool. So it's an album. Will it be like an album on Spotify as well, like a audio album, but then there will be a full video that goes with it, or like different, each song is like a different piece of a scene of a like film kind of?
So it's kind of like I'm looking, because I'm book girl, I'm thinking of it more like chapters kind of in a bigger story. So it's like,
Yeah,
like, and I have it listed on my Kickstarter. It's like each song and video are kind of like a chapter in this project. So
cool.
it will be released as like a final album on Spotify at the beginning of next year, but just kind of releasing it one step at a time. So
Yeah.
little pieces at a time.
Oh, so you're going to release it piece by piece?
Yeah. So like releasing each single and then each video kind of a little bit shortly after that. So
Cool. Wow, that's gonna be amazing. When it's probably on your Kickstarter, but what is the timeline? Like when will this be released if we are able to pull this off?
Yeah. So if we can make this happen by October 1st, little plug there. Everything's gonna be finished by early next year. So I'm saying like April, May, the entire project will be out.
Cool. So kind of the school year.
Yeah.
To work on it.
Exactly. So because I really want to have this, obviously the world is crazy right now and we don't know what's really going to happen, but really, really would love to have this project out in the world, by summer next year, so that we can, if shows want to be a thing again, then we can be playing shows. So
yeah,
that's the timeline right now. And,
that would be so cool.
Yeah.
I hope we're playing shows by then.
I know.
If not, I don't know. I just don't even know how to process the idea that we couldn't be. You know what I mean?
I know. I need another free show in my life. Like,
thank you.
Come on, we gotta have some like excitement and joy and like just some crazy back. So.
Yeah, it's been it's weird like transitioning everything to, I put all my eggs in touring, or at least a lot of them. Like to me, I think touring makes sense, and I think it's the most sustainable way to grow a fan base. But so now I feel like I'm living in a world where there's no touring, and trying to figure out how you like reach people and like grow your music without shows at all. I actually realized I really don't know that much about it. You know what I mean?
I know, it's crazy once that like element is gone, because you tour like an amazing maniac, and I look up to you so much for that. And like,
thank you.
Just like starting like, I played a lot of shows in Nashville, and then last year I got into So Far Sounds like organization, and was just kind of starting to play like, on the East Coast, and was really excited to like do that again this year, because I'm like, this is such a great way to like expanding. And then it's like, oh, okay, am I supposed to like pay for Facebook advertisements now? Because that doesn't feel good, and I don't want to reach people that way. So it's definitely a new world that we're living in right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. That's cool that you got plugged in with So Far.
Yeah,
I think that's a really cool organization, and you can really tour all across the world doing So Far. I had a friend who left Trader Joe's when I was working there, and he just like went. He was like, "Yeah, I'm going on a European tour," and I assumed, I was just like, "Wow, I didn't realize his band was so big." And then I got on Instagram to see what he was doing, and I realized they really weren't that big. He had just booked So Far shows in all these different European countries and planned this incredible road trip. And I was like, that is something I have to do. That is so cool. It's
No,
so
I
amazing.
definitely encourage you to like get in with him because it's so awesome and like just really supportive. I don't know. It's like you wonder sometimes, kind of, looking from the outside in, you're like, what's it really like, or what, what's the
Yeah.
vibe? But like everybody that I've come into contact with through that organization has just been like so all about supporting, new music and like wanting to help people and like, create bills that actually make sense. So it's yeah,
Right.
I miss
Yeah,
them.
it seems too good to be true.
Right.
And then the more I looked into it, I realized I think it actually is pretty legit. The only I guess the only reason people wouldn't do it is if they knew that they could pull a crowd on their own, because you don't make a ton of money doing it.
Right.
But if you're going to a city that you don't have any exposure in, it seems like a no-brainer, right? I mean,
Totally.
it's a way to play in front of a crowd and make a little bit of money and
Yeah, exactly. I
keep
mean, like
going.
it's, that's kind of, I think what their goal is to like set you up so that if you are in a brand new city, that you have no connection to, that you have, a little bit of base happening. Cause it's like,
Yeah.
I feel pretty good. Like like last summer I went into the Washington DC area with them, and like I don't have any connections in DC or know anybody in DC,
Right.
but like, I feel better now about like, oh, I can go back to DC because like I keep up with people that I met at that show who are like still really encouraging me now, and like feel like I have, some support there. So it's
Yeah.
really easy to grow for sure.
That is really cool. That's what I was going to ask that next, is that do you feel like a lot of the people at those shows, do they like follow you on Instagram and keep up
Yeah,
with what you're doing?
yeah, they definitely do. Like I still see, I'm like, oh, I met you in Vancouver, or I met you at DC or in Boston, and so it's
Vancouver,
yeah.
like British Columbia?
Mhm.
You went up there?
Yes, I played my first international show last year, Freeze. It was a very big deal. I was very
Whoa. That's incredible.
yeah, it was really fun. One of my best friends, Tessa, is from Vancouver, and so I was like, I gotta come visit you. I gotta come visit you. And so it finally happened last summer, and I got hooked up with the So Far show while I was there, and like it was
Cool.
so
Wow.
I love Canadians so much.
Yeah, I went up and played a show with Delaney Grant in
Yeah,
Ottawa,
other side,
and
yeah.
yeah, other side, and it was so cool. I want to go back so bad. We actually, on our last tour, we were trying to go just to visit, and I was trying to set up some shows. It wasn't really working out, so we had a couple off days from upstate New York to like New England, and you can
Yeah.
kind of go underneath the lakes or go over them. And so
Mhm.
I'd planned like two off days, one in Toronto, one in Montreal, and we got stopped at the border and rejected.
What? How could they? Canada?
Yeah,
That's not cool.
they like held us for an hour and just made us watch sports highlights, which was crazy. And then
Source.
apparently one of the members of my band, who I guess remain nameless, although I don't think they would care, had an altercation where at his job somebody had like punched him, but the person was claiming that this person in my band had like instigated it. And so the case was open, and
Oh,
they said, "You're guilty until proven innocent." Uh, so they said we weren't
that how they
allowed
do things there? Is
do what?
that how they do things
That's how
there?
they do things at the border, apparently. So just so you know. And also, they said if he had uh, gotten a charge, they said he'd be banned for 10 years. So no
Oh,
funny business, man. You can't mess around.
wow. Okay, I didn't know. Wow, they're
I
neighbors are
know.
very serious about this north. Shoot, I will not cross you, Canada. I will be such a great citizen. I promise.
I know I'm never gonna get in a fight for my whole life now. I'm like too scared.
Let's go to Montreal.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
oh, what a bummer. I've heard that place is amazing. That's
Yeah, it was a bummer for sure. But
plug.
um, oh yeah, I want to go through your rewards. Can we do that?
Yes,
Is that cool?
yes.
So
Do I
for
have to
anyone
do this whole thing?
listening, yeah, these are the rewards for Ele Ivory's debut visual album. So like we said, we're in the middle of the Kickstarter. This whole month, you can donate, but you should donate sooner than later. Um,
My
so
heart would love that.
yeah, right. To just go ahead and let's be working on stretch goals by next week, right?
Yeah, so I can sleep a little bit better.
Yeah, dude. Ella Mine
Yeah.
also just did her Kickstarter semi recently, and She totally blew it out of the water too.
Absolutely. I know. And Vanisdale had an awesome time with their Kickstarter that was a little while back. But
That's right.
like, I feel like this is a really supportive, Kickstarter friendly community that we're in. And, we
Totally.
support each other, obviously, as we get started. So
I was actually just on the phone last night with a local musician, and they were mentioning. They said, "Why does it seem like everybody that goes to Lipscomb does a Kickstarter?" And I thought that was so funny because I got the idea from the Arcadian Wild, and then I funded my album, and so
that,
on. You know.
that's kind of where it started, I think. Because, I mean, Arcadian, like, they kill it every time with the Kickstarter. That's so fun. Wow.
Yeah, okay, the Arcadian Wild has raised 10,000, 30,000, and like $40,000 on Kickstarter, which is just outrageous. But you know, the reason they're able to do that is because they basically do so far shows, except they now are able with their own following to orchestrate them, which is even more powerful. And they have just been playing like house shows for years.
Right, right. I mean, they tour like nuts too, and it's the type of touring that's developing these really awesome relationships with people. That which is like that's what's so important. It's like being in situations where you can really be connecting to these people that get it and that you understand and they understand your music and they start telling their friends. It's like
Yeah,
that's so beautiful. I love that so much because like that's the community, and that's the heart for the music.
right.
So.
Totally. And I've, over the last 5 years of college and post college, I've seen some of my friends like do really well,
Mhm.
um and like get signed to labels. But when it comes to just like independent touring, independent musicians, all of the ones I know who are just like really just doing amazing, like the Arcadian Wild, like Jordy Searcy
Yeah.
and Carly Bannister, and like even like Jack Thompson and S. Grant Parker, they all have adopted that form of touring, and a lot of them do Kickstarters as well. And I just think it's a really interesting, innovative way as an independent musician to kind of go away from the label, go away from these contracts and this idea where this label gives you a bunch of money, but
Right.
they want it back. You can easily get put in debt. You lose the ability to own your music.
Right.
And with something like Kickstarter, you can keep all that, and you have a support that's just your friends who all chip in.
Exactly. And people who like are on board with the vision that you're going for, and not like sitting there like, wait, what are you sure that's what you want to do? Or like, which is like, yes, you want constructive criticism, but it's, they're with you with what you're doing. So
Totally. I totally agree. And, my friend that I was talking to was a little bit skeptical about it. There, he was like, I feel like that's a lot to ask out of people. But, I think that I've actually found people, I have always been surprised when I've had to do a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe, or when my van got broken into and my window was shattered and gear was stolen.
right.
People always rise to that occasion. And, I think that honestly, when given the opportunity, we want to do that. I mean, all of DIY touring is based off of the generosity of other people housing me,
Right.
letting me play in their houses. And I don't think that people feel burdened by that. I think people
Mhm.
are excited to like come together as a community and help somebody when they ask for it, that help.
Totally, totally. Which has been a really cool thing to realize because like, I don't know, for the longest time, like when I see a friend doing Kickstarter, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, let's do it. Like I believe in you and I believe in this project and this is amazing. And then for myself, it was kind of a thing of like, it's not that I realize I need help. I need help. I need, people to support me in this. And like, and I believe in this project and I believe that other people believe in this project. So it's kind of like my, but my little introverted self is like, no, don't want to burden people, don't want to like be pushy or anything.
Hmm.
Like it's like, but that's not what it is. Like I'm asking people just to partner in this vision that I have, and like based on people's reactions and response, and with streams and likes and comments, like I know that people are with me and like want to support me, and so it's just kind of supporting me in a different way, in a more tangible way, because we are independent musicians, and that's the reality of it, and I would
Yeah.
so much rather have the support of people that are believing in the project, and friends and friends' friends that I know, and have that connection with. um so yeah, it's cool. It's a new chapter. That's what it is.
Yeah, and it really, you kind of wind up opening the door for strengthening these relationships when you allow people to help be invest and feel like they're a part of what you're doing, you know?
Totally, totally, totally. It's
Yeah.
like we can do this together, and like let's make something that we'll all enjoy and love. And like I really want this project, with all of my music, like I want it to be a gift to people, and I want people to feel understood and heard and have moments of like, oh my gosh, I didn't know anybody else felt that way. So it's like if we can be on the same page and do it together, how much more, beautiful is that? So
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, let's do this. Let's go through. So the first tier,
yes.
it's called Chapter 1. It's $15. For $15, you can receive a secret link to every single and music video before it releases. So just like before it comes out for a week or two in advance or something,
Yeah,
people
so
can
like a
dig it.
couple weeks before, you can have a sneak peek, and get the exclusive things. You'll see some behind the scenes pictures and video and story behind the song and how everything kind of got put together. So
That's cool. Yeah, it's a little behind the scenes. And then Chapter 2, $25. You get that plus a limited edition sticker, a thank you note, and a bookmark.
yes, yes. I as again set up in my library here. So I'm like, what? Like I never have a bookmark. That was just a thing that I'm like, people need bookmarks because like
Yeah.
I was just using like toilet paper and that's gross. So I'm like, for $25, you can get a limited edition Ele Ivory sticker, a limited edition Ele Ivory bookmark, and like they're gonna be customized to go with this album.
Cool.
And a thank you note because I love writing thank you notes and I think people like getting them. So
Oh yeah. Handwritten notes and like or just anything like physical like that is so special and it's just something you want to keep forever. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I mean I literally don't have a bookmark. My books that I'm reading right now are just like
I got you.
it's just like a scrap piece of paper or something.
No, we got it. We got class up. Actually, I had been making. They're sitting right here. Funny enough, I started making handmade bookmarks because I'm like, I love handmade things, and I think it's just special. And so I'm doing like lyric art bookmarks, and these are prototypes, but
Whoa.
just some little like we have these are Lazy Boys themed, but
Cool.
so that's just a taste. That's little prototypes of what's gonna happen, but
Oh,
excited.
that is so awesome. Those are so cool. Um, so then, okay, chapter 3. If you add 10 more dollars, go to 35. You get a signed photo prints, exclusive photo prints. What does that mean?
So I basically shoots like shots from the Lazy Boys video, from On My Toes video, from recording. Like you get just an extra little signed picture, and it's
Yeah,
you know mailed to you with love, and
that's
I'll
cool.
write your name on it and some little hearts, and they're really sweet.
That is sweet. So are those two songs going to be on the album?
Yes, yes.
Oh, so you're in a way you've already been kind of releasing songs from this. You're just like going the rest of the way and making it an album.
Totally. Yeah. So this is like really, to make sure that the rest of this project can happen. Because Lazy Boys was kind of like the first, installment, if you will, in this project. And, obviously March was wild for all of us to figure out what was happening. So like Lazy Boys
Yeah,
came out in March and had plans for going into the rest of this year. And then once everything kind of took the turn it did, I'm like, I want to keep working. I want to keep making these things, while I can. I can't do the whole project by myself, but like I want to do what I can and like
yeah.
keep giving people some music and give a taste of like what's to come. So yeah, they're a part of the project. It's just kind of like we're in home stretch now to make the rest of it happen.
That's really cool. I didn't. So wait, Lazy Boys came out in March.
The visual aspects.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah,
I was at, I feel like I was at the show when the song for the song release. Was it
yeah,
at the Well
yeah. At the Well last fall,
last
and
fall?
yeah, last fall and Grant opened. So
That was a really cool night.
that was really fun. Yes, we had little cupcakes, and it was
Mm-hmm.
so much fun. Yeah,
Y-
that was when I think back about like, okay, what were like some of just the sweetest like moments? Because I mean, obviously a lot of reminiscing of live shows has been happening lately. And I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a sweet night, to just everybody's so close and eating cupcakes and, celebrating. So
Yeah, the Well is a really special place, especially with it being right across from Lipscomb. It's become such a really cool spot to perform.
right. I know it feels kind of like, it's the home stage for all of us, I guess.
Yeah, it's our own little spot. It kind of reminds me of that what is it, the Bluebird Cafe or something, but
Yeah,
for just for us.
it's Bluebird for sure.
Even though anyone can book there, like I think it's, or I don't fully understand how much of a fully functioning venue it is, but I know that I am able to book there and other people.
Right. I mean, I think anybody pretty much can. Everybody should. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
right. It's
And
a
you can
it's a cool
talk with
spot.
anybody at the show, which is amazing.
That's really cool, especially because I don't drink. So normally at bar, it's like I'm playing at a bar, and I'm like, oh, cool. Can I have like a
Yeah.
soda? Yeah. But I love coffee, so like I love. And it's also just like a little bit of a different format because showing up to a show normally they're a little bit earlier,
Mhm.
and it's like more intimate, and you're like drinking coffee. It's just like a completely different atmosphere.
It's more like a home show, like a house show in a sense, because it's just
Yeah,
cozier and like it's like really clean in there. And there's like
right.
coffee being made and like it's like, okay, this feels like I'm just at in somebody's living room. So
Yeah, the only difference is that you're on a massive stage with
yeah,
incredible lighting and sound. So in that sense, it's like incredibly professional. But like aside from that, it really does feel intimate, and it still feels intimate. But then you like get on stage and you're like, wow, I'm like really high up.
I'm up here. I know I've stepped up there before. I'm like, this is okay. This is different, but yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right.
Mike, oh, I miss Mike. Always
I do
like
too.
the master back there running sound.
He is run sound for me at different Lipscomb events on probably every single room and closet at Lipscomb, and he is just the best.
He knows how to do it. Shout out to Mike. I'm always like, whenever I play something over there, I'm like, Mike, please be there.
Yeah, right.
He's like,
That's cool.
"Bye,
Okay.
Max."
Next up, chapter 4, $55. You've got everything we've mentioned, plus an exclusive t-shirt.
Yes.
And then the next one for 65, you're also throwing in unreleased music. So this is
Yeah.
music outside of the album?
Yes. And these are like songs, honestly, that I'm super proud of and love, but will probably never release under my artist name.
Wow.
Uh,
Why is that?
Basically, just because, like, I love writing. Like, big fan of songwriting, and like songs just come out sometimes that I'm like, I love this and I think it's really cool, but like it's not, I don't feel like it really aligns. It aligns with like my songwriting world, but not really with like the artist world that I'm going
Yeah.
for right now. And so I've got a lot of demos of like super pop stuff and demos of like super singer songwriter stuff, and I'm just like, neither one of these really, they feel like Ellie but not like Ellie Ivory. And so it makes me kind of sad because I'm like, I want somebody to hear these songs,
Yeah.
but I just don't see myself releasing them ever, honestly. So I just thought this would be a really cool
Hmm.
way to like share some other sides of my music and like sides of what I do, since you're probably not going to hear them anywhere else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exclusive, unreleased things, but
That's really special. I think that's really interesting that you feel like some songs you would write and be proud of, but might not fit within your sound or style. I've like, I don't know. That's just really interesting. Do you feel like Ellie Ivory is like a specific thing now? It's like grown into its own thing and is like some of the art you make just doesn't fit the vibe.
yeah, I think so. And like that wasn't my, intention, because like I have always just written songs and loved writing songs, and like um didn't set out for like the Ellie Ivory project to be, a certain vibe or a certain genre, because I've just always believed that like the genre just kind of finds you. And so I
Yeah.
don't like necessarily sit down to write like I'm gonna write an Ellie song today or whatever. But but it's just kind of like how things shape up, I guess, because when you're and this is true with anything in art, I feel like it's when you're chasing it, it just kind of evolves and turns into something that you weren't planning on, to start with. And yeah, so it's just been kind of cool. And I think it's been neat, as I've gotten farther into the Ellie Ivory project, to be able to tell like okay, this feels like me. This feels like something that I like want to say as an artist. And this song over here feels like something I want to say as a writer. And so it's been cool to like be able to differentiate those things.
Yeah, right. Are you interested in, or maybe you already do stuff like this? Like, are you interested in trying to get like a publishing deal out of once you like graduate, or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like that's not my main focus. I guess like I've kind of stepped back from working towards that right now because I'm like I want to put everything I can into this artist project and like be really focused on releasing my music and touring once we can do that. But that's always been a dream of mine because like I love writing and I love writing all different types of music and stepping into other people's shoes, you know, in co-writes. So
Yeah.
that's I feel like always going to be a part of what I want to do. I just it's not my main goal right now. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that makes sense. It sometimes I feel like artistry, you just have to go all in. You have to give it everything you've got, really. I mean, it to me, I mean, there are a lot of people who balance it and also do like publishing, like do rights and work on 1,000 things and have a full-time job. But, you know, I feel like in every way you can, if you can, it seems good to like pursue relentlessly your artistry because it is just such a crazy um it's a crazy game and business, and it's just like I don't know.
right. And two, it's like, you know, they both, you know, writing and artistry obviously go hand in hand in so many
Hmm.
ways, support each other.
Yes, that's true.
But two, it's like, you know, I want to pay attention to the Ele Ivory project and give it every effort and give it, you know, my best, you know, and my first. And so it's like I don't want to ever let that kind of take over or
Yeah.
delegitimize other things in a way or make it seem like this is my side project or whatever. You know, I really want that to be me. And so
Yeah.
yeah.
That reminds me of on episode 2 of Fun Zone, I talked to Ella and
Yeah.
she mentioned this story with Charlie, how right when she came to school, he was like, "Do you see yourself as like an artist or a producer?" And she said, "Producer." And he said, "That's fine, but it's not fine if you're just saying that because you're scared." And
Yeah.
I think that is true. I mean, if somebody maybe they only want to do the artist thing on the side, or maybe they just want to give it a little bit of attention, or it's a hobby, but
Mm-hmm.
which I think that's true. I mean, there are a lot of people who are that way, and that's healthy. That's exactly it. But then when you feel in your heart that this is something you need to be pursuing, it's like that's when you have to do it, even
Totally.
when it's scary. You know?
Right, right, and maybe even more so when it's scary because it's like, you know, like is that a good fear maybe like driving you to like do it and not, you know, shy away from that
Yeah.
because I don't know, I would hate to it would feel wrong and it would feel like a disservice to like gifts that God has given me to just ignore like the my artist path there and just to kind of like be like I just want to be a songwriter, you know, and everybody
Yeah.
has a different balance. So, you know,
Right.
we'll see. But
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. On chapter 7,
yes.
where you're going to throw in a limited edition lyric artwork. Is that something you're gonna make? Are you making artwork for with your lyrics on it?
I am. I am. So each one's going to be different and customized to the person receiving. And so that one's just going to be like a page. So like you can tell me if there's a song that's already out and you like want the lyrics to that one, or I'll just pick one for you if you don't have a preference. Yeah, so I'm going to customize it a little hand painted, handwritten page. And I just thought it'd be so much more special to have something like created like that because I love seeing, you know, artists put themselves into their work and more than just their songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, some custom one of a kind work for you.
Wow. So everyone that orders one, are you going to hand like draw every single one?
Yeah,
That's
yes.
insane.
I'm committed. I am committed
That's
to this
really
project.
special. I mean, that's worth $75 alone. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like that's incredible. That's a piece of art people get
Yeah,
to own.
I want it to be really
You
special.
already have one backer who's doing that too.
Yes.
Yo, that's
Oh,
crazy.
oh my God.
That's cool. All right, let's see. Moving to Tier 8, aka Volume 1, $100 pledge. Everything plus a release show ticket to the
Yes.
Zoom release show.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
wait. So you're already assuming it's going to be a Zoom release show?
Well, that's an update for right now. I was like, I need to preface everything, with how things are gonna go. We'll see. If I'm really hoping that it's not gonna have to be a Zoom release show, especially since the whole project will be out by late April, early May.
Yeah.
Really praying that things will be okay then, because
Yeah.
I want to do something special. I love the concept of a listening party vibe, and everybody getting to get together in like a small intimate setting and have a little really show party, and I'll bake some cupcakes and have some LaCroix and stuff. So that's the dream. Right now Zoom is the reality, but we're working towards the dream. So.
Yeah. Well, I really hope you get to do that. But either way, I know that'll be a really special evening for everyone involved, especially when they've been excited and watching you along this journey now,
Right.
for like over a year at that point.
Right.
Let's see. Volume 2, you'll receive a family and you'll receive a family and friends ticket to the Zoom release show plus everything else. So what does that mean? A family and friends ticket?
Yeah. So basically, works for Zoom, or if the dream happens and we get to be in person again, you can have 2 guests with you.
Cool.
So yeah, you can bring a family and a friend, or just a family, or just a friend. Or,
2 families, 1 friend.
Yeah.
Two families, 0 friends.
No friends allowed, only family.
That's cool. And then, whoa, jumping up, Volume 5. This says, wow, thank you. You will receive all previous rewards and a house show within 300 miles of Nashville.
Yes.
Wow, 300 miles?
Yeah, 300 miles.
Let's do the math on that. There's a lot of cities in play here.
I know. I was looking at the little radar map. I'm like, this is good for you guys. This could happen.
I guess Atlanta is just out of the picture.
Yeah, I mean, I may make an exception for some of my Atlanta.
Oh wait, no. This if you take this route, it's only 240 miles.
Yeah, it totally happened.
Yo, that's cool.
My ATL homies down there.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool. That would be really special to get to just like have a party and have you play,
Right.
Especially if it lines up right and like things are just opening up. It'd be like really exciting to get to go to a show like that.
God. Yeah, I know. I put on there too, like, I must be flexible with dates, due to COVID and everything, because like I want that to happen, and like am fully behind that happening, and I'm not gonna like skimp on it and just be like, oh, I can't because of COVID, but
Yeah,
flexibility will obviously be required. So
yeah, right. Yeah, totally. It looks like and then the final 2 tiers are like continuing with that house show idea, but you are opening it up to people who live even further away. The final one being 850 miles.
yes,
I feel like 850 miles is a really long way away.
it's to Philadelphia.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What is Denver? Oh no, Denver's too much. That's 1,100.
Yeah. It's like 24 hours. Oh man, I have some friends that go out to Denver every year for a hiking trip, and they just drive straight. They just take shifts, drive for 24 hours, and I'm like, that's commitment to. I mean, it's beautiful out there, I guess. But.
Yeah, Clay and I did that once. It was pretty brutal.
You?
Oh, we had one other friend. Yeah, after freshman year, or our Christmas break, freshman year of college, we just drove out there to go skiing.
Cool. Oh,
Yeah,
so you've been practicing for the Olympics.
I've been practicing for the Olympics. Anybody watching this video, the video format, I'm wearing my Olympic shirt right now. That is from the Atlanta Olympics in '96. That's the year I was born. So, and my mom's from Atlanta, so the shirt's very special to me.
That's cool.
I have every time I wear it. Actually, not to gas myself up too much, but people will just comment on it and be like, "How much do you want for that shirt?" And I didn't realize. I guess it's actually pretty valuable. I guess it's like a vintage polo looking shirt. So
my dad would totally want to buy that off of you.
Dude,
Especially
I love your dad.
Our Olympics 1996 Christmas ornament this year. That was very traumatic for everyone.
Oh.
So he needs some memorabilia again from that. Yeah, we love Charles.
Do you live with anyone in your family? Like,
yeah.
Cool. Everyone Green Hills, or is it just you?
Yeah, everyone in Green Hills. Yeah.
No
Yeah. So
way.
we all moved up here when I was in high school.
Cool.
And
Okay.
yeah, I moved my grandparents in with us and took care of them for the first 5 years we lived up here, and they've since passed away. And so yeah, parents are here, and that's great. And I'm an only child, so like we're all real close and hang out and had
Yeah,
Mexican food last night, and yeah, they're awesome.
that's
But
cool.
both my parents love you. They're just like, we miss Freeze. They were so excited. They're like, tell Freeze we say hi. We talk to her.
Cool. Well, I think the world of both of them. I remember hanging out with them at Freeze Fest 3 and
Good.
then getting to see them at your release show last fall. Just some of the sweetest people. I remember y'all hanging out a long time during Freeze Fest 3 whenever you played. I remember y'all hung out for a long time. She meant the
we
world to me.
we were there all like the whole. I don't know. I think we might have because it went until like 2 a.m. I think we might have
Yeah.
left a little after midnight, but like we were in it. We were there for it. Like
That's
we were
cool.
excited. We were super. That was so fun. That was like the first. I'm trying to remember. Like I know I had
Hmm.
been to a few of your shows before Freeze Fest happened, but I think that was the first time I've like spent time around you and like that group of people, and I was just like, this is crazy and amazing, and I love everything that's happening. I don't understand everything that's happening, but I'm here for it and I'm excited by it.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty chaotic. I remember Freeze Fest 3, we had, I think, 120 artists play.
Yes, yeah,
Um,
because you like accepted everybody, and I was like, this dude is unreal. Wow, amazing.
I'm going to do that again someday and just try to get like 500 bands to play. But
Mm.
um, thank you. And yeah, I mean, I remember that being the first time I heard you play. Yeah, I was also trying to remember where we met. So that's interesting that you can't remember either. Maybe it's just through shows and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I know I came to the East Room a few times.
How did you know about those shows? Who was like your mutual friend?
I honestly, I don't even know. Um,
Hmm.
it was like I didn't already know Grant. I met you and Grant kind of at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't
And
really
now
know.
so many of our friends are from Lipscomb now. Like all
Right,
of our mutual friends are from a little bit later because you wound up coming to
totally.
Lipscomb. Did you always know you're going to go to Lipscomb?
No, no, I didn't. I went to Grammy Camp 2 years in a row, and through Grammy Camp, somebody hooked me up with Charlie, and so I had a meeting
Cool.
with Charlie, and I had talked about what that would look like, and I was just kind of in the like, do I want to go to school? Like I know I want to pursue artistry full time. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go to school. I don't know if that makes sense for me. And then a bunch of my friends went to Belmont. I took a semester off, and by the time that semester was over, they had all dropped out of Belmont. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
maybe not. And so Lipscomb was kind of like this little shining star that like I had been introduced to and like had been able to meet some amazing people like you and Grant. And I was like,
Cool.
go there, and like this seems legit and like seems like a supportive community. And so yeah, I'm really thankful that I did go there because I've grown
Really?
and like just the community's been awesome. So.
That's cool. I'm really glad I went too. Obviously, I dropped out
Right.
February of junior year, so not that much. You've only done a couple more months than I had. Like,
Yeah.
I think if I'd made it to senior year, maybe I would have finished. And I know I was close, but I personally just kind of, I didn't even want to drop out. Like, I loved my community. It was just that I felt like I wasn't, something changed about when I came back for the second semester of junior year to
Mhm.
where I felt like I am not using my time
Mhm.
like effectively.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I guess I'm just genuinely curious. What inspires you to finish? Have you felt a switch like that, or have you been able to find purpose all the way through? You know what I mean?
Honestly, like when I was in this, like, okay, do I not want to go to school? Do I want to go to school? Belmont, Lipscomb, what's happening? I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started and like start stuff at Columbia State, and we'll just see how it goes. And like that way I can still be working, I can still be playing shows, and it can just be kind of like I'm finishing these little classes over here, and it's not like my thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it really helped that like I started as kind of like I'm just doing some college classes instead of like I'm going to be a college student for 4 years, because like thinking about it that way was kind of like that feels like that's my thing, and I don't want that to be my thing. I want
Right.
Ele Ivory to be my thing, and you know this is just something I'm also completing for like a lot of personal reasons, and like I want to grow, and like I love learning, and like just always want to, you know, become more well-rounded. And so I'm really thankful that I kind of got, you know, that first chunk out of the way before I was like, I am now a Lipscomb student, and this is, you know, my thing. So it's kind of like it never felt like it became my identity. And so, you know, I don't really talk other than like close friends and family. I don't think people really know I'm in school. Like this is probably the most I've talked about like
Yeah.
being in university on something, because it's just like it's just something I do, you know, and
Yeah.
something
It doesn't
like,
define you.
right. And so I think that's been really helpful, because it's like, you know, I've viewed it since I've been at Lipscomb, I've viewed it more as like a career path help, which like that's what university is. But
Totally.
you know, it's been helpful to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing, and like I'm making connections this way and growing as an artist and as a person, but like I'm doing more
Yeah.
than just this.
Have you gotten sick of it? Are you still feeling good about it?
I'm still feeling good about it. Yeah.
Cool.
I got a little sick of it in the spring when we were just like on this all the
Yeah.
time. Like,
Right.
now
Totally.
I literally could like be doing something else, because I'm not around other people. I'm not like meeting new people. I'm just sitting in my library in this uncomfortable chair, and like I see my piano, and all I want to go do is write a song.
Yeah. Right.
So,
Totally.
yeah. Other than that, though, no. I'm no senioritis has kicked in yet, thankfully.
That's good. Well, that's really special. Yeah, that's cool, and I think that does make sense. And yeah, especially just with everything being online now, I would feel it would be even harder to even show up to just the Zoom call. I
Totally.
feel like.
But, especially when they're like, you can keep your camera muted or, you know, turned off. I'm just like, do you want that? Because I'm just going to go eat pizza. So that's
Yeah, right. That's so funny. That's crazy, and that's cool that your family, that you live so close by where you're going to school. Are you from Nashville originally, or from Franklin originally?
No, I'm from Atlanta originally. So my
Okay.
whole family's from Alabama. And then my parents moved to Atlanta just before I was born, and lived there until I was 14 or 15.
Wow.
And like had started making, like I was always involved in music in some form or fashion, and like, you know, the whole spiel you usually hear about, like I grew up singing in the church. My dad was a music minister,
Oh,
and
cool.
and then was like super involved in musical theater in Atlanta. And then when I was 11, I started writing a lot more, and we just started making trips to Nashville. It's kind of been a cool like full circle moment this semester, because I was obsessed with any song written by Cindy Morgan when I was 11. It was just like I would look at the liner notes and be like, "Oh, Cindy was a writer on this song."
Oh, cool.
And so I became really familiar with her work, and I had just started writing songs and was a super excited 11-year-old and was like, "Yeah, this is what I want to do with my life." And so I found Cindy's email address like on her website, and emailed her these really like terrible work tape demo things of these like first songs that I had written. And I was like, "Hi Cindy, like I'm a really big fan, and it would mean a lot if you listen to these." And she actually did and responded and was like so encouraging, which is just crazy to me and like a total God thing. And so I
Cool.
came up here and like met her and
Wow.
started writing with people that way. And then now I'm in a class with her my senior year at Lipscomb. So it's been a really cool like, oh, wow, you're like Cindy, you're like the reason I'm in Nashville, and now I get to like end my
Oh my gosh.
at Lipscomb with you, helping me figure out stuff for my like biggest project I've done to date. So it's like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
But
Wow, that is so cool. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I
so
didn't know that. That is amazing.
yeah, so it's like, okay, this is cool, because it like started when I was 11, and now I'm with her as a senior at university, and yeah, so it's cool. So it's been like, I've lived here since I was in high school, but really started making trips up here in middle school. And so it's been kind of like a gradual, like, this place feels like home, and like this community feels like what I've always been looking for. Yeah, so it's really cool. Very special.
That is so special. Wow. So have you known like you were gonna make music since 11 or earlier? Like, you were just like, yeah, I'm gonna be a musician, an artist.
Pretty much. I think it
Wow.
goes back to that ambitious thing of just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And everybody was like, oh yeah, okay, but like you're kind of tall, so are you sure you don't want to like try basketball or something else? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm terrible at that. I just, want to make music, and that definitely wasn't like a thing where I'm from. Where I'm from, like it was so cool to come here, and it's like I love it. I love that everybody else makes music. I'm like, this is amazing. Everybody else is like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, songwriter. But where I'm from, it was like, oh, she's the weird homeschool girl that writes songs and like stays in her bedroom all day playing piano.
Yeah.
It's just it's cool. It's like, yeah, I am the weird homeschool girl that stays in my bedroom and writes songs all day. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I like Nashville. I don't feel it's competitive, but it feels supportive, and I don't feel like devastated by it. I just feel like I'm taking notes from everyone around me all the time.
right, right, and it's like it's awesome when they are your friends, and it's like, oh, you did that really well, and you did a cool thing, and like I'm not discouraged. I'm like so excited for you, and like want to get better, because of
Yeah.
that.
Totally. Totally.
From here, so like, do you see yourself like? I like ask you the question now, but like,
No,
do
you're
you
good.
see yourself like staying here? You think? I mean, you're obviously on the road all the time, but
Yeah, I think that being on the road for the most part meets my need of like wanting to travel. Aside from like there is kind of the like study abroad type travel like that I saw a lot of my friends get to do, where they go to a country for like 3 months. I
yeah,
think I would also like to do that, but probably not for more than 3 months. Like I would actually like to do that kind of like long, but also short, just kind of few months somewhere. I would love to travel and like spend more time places if I had any budget or literally any money at all. I would do that while writing. But yeah, I mean, in terms of moving to a different city, like New York or LA or like Chicago, like finding a new scene, it just doesn't really make sense. I mean, I think that Nashville is the perfect place to be if you're going to do music. And also, I think just like I've already grown roots here, and like
for
it's
sure.
just I feel supported by this community, and I could never really start that over somewhere else, being born and raised, or just even just growing up somewhere. Um, or even if I just started in college, even then, like it would still be hard to start like at day one somewhere new. So I think to me, traveling is like something that helps me, like enriches my life. But in terms of like moving somewhere else, I don't really feel that. The only place I would move would probably be like Cookville, because I can't afford Nashville. Like it's the only reason I would move to a different cities. I might just move to like Jackson, Tennessee or something.
Oh my god, yeah, just Kingston Springs, just like
Yeah, for real. I mean, I don't I don't know if you're like this too, but I am totally unemployed. I just do music. I live with my family because to me
yeah,
it's just like working a job. I could work a job and then make enough money at that job to pay rent somewhere. But to me that's just like when I like and I tried doing that last year, like
mm,
about this time last year, and I was just like, why
yeah,
am I doing this?
yeah, yeah,
It's just like if I could spend these 8 hours, this money is going to rent. If I
mm,
live with my family, I think I thought at the time that moving out was going to like enrich my life, and then that was going to help my music because I was going to have this place and I was going to wake up and have like my own space to make. But it's like
yeah,
I don't think that was. I'm realizing now personally that was no longer worth it, and I feel like as an artist, like I said, I feel like I have to let go of whatever I can, like what you can let go of, which like for me is like romantic relationships, having my own place,
yeah,
having money. Just
sure.
like, okay, I can do without those things, then I will.
Oh, Totally. And like, you know, how blessed, like I'm so grateful to like have parents that not only support me, you know, in what I want to do, but like will allow me that time, you know, and realize like this is a full-time job, and like I'm taking it seriously, you know, and I'm doing everything that I can to get this off
Yeah.
the ground. And like, it's so awesome just to like have that support of like, okay, like I can have the time and the space that I need to like devote to this, you know, instead of kind of flushing it down the rent drain. So
Yes, which in Nashville is just so crazy.
you know.
You know, it's just, I think that was part of it too. It was like, if I could get my own place for like $500, I
Mhm.
would probably do that. But it's like, for $700, you can live with three other people in like a apartment. And it's just like, there isn't going to be any more creativity there. There's just going to like, it's just going to have its own set of like guidelines and
Right.
navigating and, um, I don't know. So yeah. And again, I get like other members of my band are from here. They all live in houses now. And I think that they're happier and healthier like that. But
Mhm.
for me, it's just like, I love getting to be with my family. And
Right.
I think that if you have an opportunity like that, you should take advantage of it if you can, you know?
Right. I totally agree. And like, it's never felt, you know, weird to me to do that, because it's like, you know, I have a great relationship with my family, and like, no, we all know that like we're working towards something. And so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been really special, you know, especially this year of like, I would be so sad if I did not live at home and like was just
Yeah.
worried about my parents, you know.
Right.
So so it's been really sweet.
Totally. Yeah. It really takes a lot of confidence. And I feel like sometimes we don't even realize that's what it is, but like to wake up every day and call yourself an artist.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes I'm like, are we just delusional? You know, or like we're not, but at the
But
same time, it takes that trust in yourself, and or maybe it's in God, trust in the story and whatever's happening through you,
right.
to be like, no, this is my purpose and I know it's my purpose, so I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not ever going to stop. I don't even see, and obviously everyone has doubts, but it's like I don't even see other options. Like, it's just,
Right.
this is what I'm doing, and so I am going to do it.
Totally. And that takes a lot of like reminding yourself of that too, you know, especially when you hit road bumps or whatever. It's like, okay, that does not define anything, you know, that doesn't change anything. If I'm going to reassess and like keep moving forward and keep being ambitious, you know,
Yeah.
and trusting this path, because it's like you have to, you know, for me, it's always like, okay, I'm going to look like, what are the like moments in time where I'm like, this was a confirmation, this was a confirmation, this was a confirmation, you know, like this
Yeah.
person came alongside me, this person supported, like, you know, and because a lot of times, you know, I'm so like, it's been really helpful with this project to like break it down one chapter and like one song, one video at a time, because I get so like out there with things and so in my head about like, okay, what's next, and like how we're going to do this, and so it's like realizing, you know, point A to point B like does not happen like immediately. It is like so takes so much longer, and it's going to look so much different than you think it is. So it's like so refreshing to have those reminders of like, this was a really cool thing that happened, and like this was confirmation, and like I'm just gonna keep on this
Yeah.
path that's ahead. And yeah, but it's
Totally.
definitely like a waking up and being like, okay, I'm an artist, this was a gift, like I'm gonna work on this and like do what I know that I've been purposed for in this world. And it's gonna look different than what I think that it will or that it should, you know, if I'm
Gosh.
having
Yeah.
control freak moments or whatever, which definitely happen.
Hmm.
But that doesn't change the fact that like I want to make music, and I want to love people through that music and make wonderful relationships with people through that music. And you know, thinking about it that way is kind of like, yeah, this is, yes, yes, I can get up and not be stressed about my Kickstarter, but like I can be
Yeah.
excited, you know, for the next chapter.
Totally. Totally. And the reality of the dream does change. And
Right.
as much as we think that we have this like vision in the sky and we're like going to get there, we also have to understand as musicians and artists, we know like the reality and the amount of like compromise of like literally not even getting from A to Z, but like A to B. You get to B and you're like, wow, B looks totally different than I thought it was going to. It's just like so much of what we do, the industry, you know, the dreams look the same for, you know, since Elvis or the Beatles. And yet the whole world has changed. The whole music business has changed. No one will like ever be as big as the Beatles again. But like, so it's just hard because like even what I thought 3 years ago was how you were supposed to do it. Maybe
Yeah,
that was true then, but now it's not. Like,
for
you know
sure.
what I mean? And so
Yeah,
it,
it's always a very humbling process of being like, okay, I have been working at this and like I have been investing every single day for the last 10 years into this, but also I still don't know the best way to do this and I'm never going to know the best way to do this, you know?
yeah,
It's like a constant like reminder of like be confident in this and be confident in what you've been called to, but also like always be learning and acknowledging that you don't know what's happening, you know?
I think that's very true. Yeah. Takes a lot of faith and like I said, either in yourself or something beyond yourself to just keep waking up every day and feeling that. I'm excited for you on this journey. I hope that everybody who's listening or watching feels compelled to chip in and help support this album, this visual album that you're working on. I think it's a really amazing idea. I think so much of, you know, talking about adapting. You said, you know, maybe right now we live in more of a singles based like society and music world, but at the same time we live in a visual world too. And I think that making a visual album is something that's really just like in some ways the best idea, you know. It's just it totally makes sense, and beyond that it's what you want to do, which makes it perfect for you. And yeah, I really appreciate you coming and talking to me about it today.
Thank you. I'm so excited for this project and like just know that, you know, it's gonna be 2020 is still gonna be our year. It's still gonna be a great year for music and thank
Yeah,
you for asking me to come on here.
yeah, of course.
So
I'm so
congrats on
excited.
the song today. It's amazing. Love it with Anna.
Oh
Super
yes.
cool. Super cool.
Hey, thanks for listening to that. Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe it's out. It was a really fun new project getting to make a song with him. So
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. If I had Labor Day off, I would be on a boat somewhere listening to it on repeat. I'll be in my house listening to it on repeat, imagining that I'm on a boat. I promise. But
yeah, thank you so much.
really admire you, dude. It's great.
I admire you too. Thank you. For real, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to me. This has been awesome. I wish you the best for the next month. I know it's going to be probably a little bit stressful, or maybe, but you've got this, and we're
Just
all
dance
rooting for you.
through it, you know.
We'll just dance through it.
Yeah,
Say hey to your family for me, please, and have a good rest of your day. For real,
absolutely.
it's
Thank
been
you.
awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.